Welcome to the historic Driftwood Resort, home of the Driftwood Inn and Waldo's Restaurant. I'm Adam Neal, editor of TC Palm and Treasure Coast newspapers, and today we're at one of the oldest and most well-known buildings in Vero Beach. If you look over here to your left, and then again over here to your right, the structures you'll see were built after the original building behind me. This building was built in 1935 by Waldo Sexton, one of Vero's pioneers. The structure is also known as the Breezeway for obvious reasons. Here's obviously what it looks like today in 2019, but now you'll see what it looked like more than 80 years ago. Waldo built the buildings out of salvaged wood and cypress logs and panels he found around Blue Cypress Lake just west of town. You can see much of the original architecture and structures here. Now, if you look behind you and look down, you will see TC Palm's drone, flown by FAA certified staff pilots. Now, look back towards me to see the video that is being shot by this drone. You can see the Driftwood was built right on the beach, north of Humiston Park and south of the Ocean Grill, another one of Waldo's buildings. Back then, there wasn't much here. But now, Vero Beach's Oceanside district is bustling with tourists and locals. During construction in the 1930s, residents recalled seeing Waldo pace up and down that beach. He shouted commands to his crew without any written plans or instructions. And as a result, nothing seemed to be quite level or square. But these buildings have withstood many, many tropical storms as well as hurricanes throughout the years. Back here on the ground, the Breezeway wasn't originally designed as a hotel. It was actually the Sexton's family beach house. But because of the demand, it quickly became a small bed and breakfast. In 1947, Waldo's Restaurant was built, which you can see right beyond these trees. A few years later, Waldo built the one-story fishing shacks and an office right behind that restaurant. In 1963, he built the apartments directly behind you. Then, 2 years after that, Waldo's son Ralph built this four-story building with the blue rails that you can see right there. As extraordinary as the buildings are on the outside, the real treasures lie within. Waldo was a world traveler and an avid collector. He was known to disappear for days, only to return with artifacts he bought, mostly from luxurious homes in Palm Beach. Some of these items still can be found here today, such as the cannons that you can see behind you, one here and one there. You can also see a bell directly in the background. Now, take a minute to look around, and you can see some of the other items that you can find here at the Driftwood. Waldo also had a passion for collecting bells. Bells from trains, ships, and churches are scattered throughout this property. Here's a three-dimensional replica of a bell found here at the Driftwood. As locals will tell you, anyone is free to ring a bell when the spirit moves them. It would make Waldo happy. Waldo loved showing guests his collection. Years ago, the New York Times reported on a woman who took a group tour here with Waldo. She enjoyed it so much she attended one the following day. But to her surprise, none of the stories about the collection were the same. When confronted, Waldo was famously known as saying to her and to others, "I'd rather be a liar any day than a bore." If you're in the area, stop by and see one of Vero Beach's most historic and well-known buildings. Ring a bell or listen to a story about its past. It may or may not be true, but it wouldn't matter to Waldo as long as it was a good story. For more historical information on Vero Beach, visit tcpalm.com/Vero Beach Centennial.